it looked, sounded, and smelled like I was applying to get an audition for a movie. So pretty much this is the recap. I am scrolling through Facebook and I see a ad for the new Spider-Man movie because I know I'm like super into the Marvel movies, so I know that there's another Spider-Man movie coming out. Sorry, spoiler alert, he's coming back. And I was like, oh, they're looking for a female, like I got military experience, blah blah blah, so I'm super excited. And so I signed up and I'm like, no way did I get a call back. I have my first audition, right? Oh, what? My ultimate goal is voice acting for a reoccurring like cartoon series. You know, maybe something like superhero-ish. You know, I wouldn't mind that. I don't have much experience, just like church plays and stuff like that. So I go to this interview type thing, like they said it was like an evaluation, and I'm new to this process, so I have no idea what to expect. So I'm just going in there, high hopes, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go in there as prepared as possible and just do my thing, or whatever they ask me to do, and do the best I can. So I go there, they give me a sheet to sign, like to fill out, and I'm sitting there with like maybe 25 other people. They have Devil Wears Prada on, and so we're all sitting there. I fill out my stuff pretty fast because in the military you're used to filling out stuff like that. And they call you in a room to get a headshot, and it's like the quickest, most unprofessional setup ever. Literally no lights. It was just a normal camera. I don't even think it had an extra lens on it or anything. And it was like from an angle like this because the person was shorter than me. And she was like, smile. So I smiled, and I'm not good at taking pictures like that. Like, I did not sign up to be a model. Like, tell me what to do, how to like tilt my head so it'll look better. So it came out probably like that. She's like, yeah, well, they'll call you for an individual, you know, like speaking evaluation next. Walks in and she tells us about the company, and I'm still kind of confused. Like, I'm like, wait, so is this a casting agency? Is this like for actual auditions? Like, do casting managers, I think they're called, go there to like audition? I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, whatever it is, I want to be a part of it. So I'm going into this room, they call me back, and she's asking me why they think they should, you know, be interested in me. And I'm like, I'm giving my stuff, you know, I'm talking with her, make her laugh, all that kind of stuff. And she gives me a call back with an appointment like already like a day later. It was Saturday and I had an appointment Monday. I got a call back. I'm gonna be going back to my audition, interview, whatever. It's to get signed to a casting agency. So it's not like an audition for an actual like show or TV show. Like, they can help me get those auditions and stuff. But this is like interviews to basically get, I don't know. I had to get another outfit because she said wear a black dress and heels, and I have injuries, so I can't really wear like stiletto heels. So I got like these thick clear heels. They were still cute, and I had a cute dress. It was like cute boss lady dress. Yeah. Researching for my interview tomorrow, and in my research I found that this might be a scam. I looked at a whole bunch of reviews. I watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos that were like, yeah, they asked me to pay for like this and that, excuse me, like this and that, and like they overcharge for headshots and stuff. And I was just like, and they're like, yeah, they played this movie and this movie, and I was like, they played the same one at this one. So I don't know, guys. I'm gonna go tomorrow, hope for the best. If not, I did enough research to prepare myself if they ask. Like, if I'm getting hired because they see talent in me. It's like, if you're going to an interview for a job, like, why are you paying to work there? You know what I mean? I go back and it's completely like, it's crazy because back into this interview, this guy like comes and looks at me like 2 different times awkwardly. It was like awkward. I was like I didn't know what to do. And then the 3rd time he comes back, he's like, okay, I'll take you now. And I'm like, you can take me like 3 other times you came and saw me? So I went back with him. I didn't say that out loud, of course, but I went back with him and he was like, yeah, you could take a seat, because the first time the lady didn't let me sit down. She was just making me stand up the whole time. And so I'm like, okay, this is like a real audition. I'm still thinking I'm auditioning, but it's really, it sounds like a job interview. And then it feels like a job interview. So I'm like, okay, like, cool, I'll do that. And so he's asking me a whole bunch of questions. What makes you different? What makes you that? What makes you this? Why should we consider you? And I'm telling him all these kind of things. Like, I make him laugh. The whole time he's saying, you know, he's tired or something like that. I don't know. It was weird. And then he left the room. He gave me this piece of paper to read while he left about the company. It felt like he was selling me a product. You ever walked into a store, already had your mind set on something, and then like the DirecTV guy or Comcast guy, woman, lady, man, child, I don't know, if they come up to you and they start selling you a product, you're like, not really, you know, that's not really why I'm here, I'm sorry. That's kind of what it felt like. I was like, wait, like, I'm supposed to be like kind of like selling myself to you in an unprostitute way. So it didn't feel right already. Waiting for him to come back. And he comes back, he was like, yeah, well, congratulations, you're a perfect fit for us, blah, blah, blah. You got time to go over the contract? And I was like, yeah, sure. So let's go over this contract. And he's reading all these things, and I'm like, I'm just waiting, because I did do my research. I'm like waiting. I'm like, I hope he doesn't ask me to pay for anything. He asked me, not personally, the company asked me for $600 that day with like a $35 or like $30-something monthly charge. Like, the first thing I saw was an audition for a Spider-Man movie. And then I go in and they're selling me a product, and I'm like, no, I want to audition for this movie. Like, if I'm not right for the movie, fine. Like, I'll go take classes or something at college, not at this place where I'm paying out of the ass for these classes. Like, what? He's like, well, if you don't pay today, then you have to wait another 90 days to reapply. I'm like, I'm good with that. I'm not trying to get on him, because he was just doing his job, but he was like complaining the whole time that he was tired. Man, oh, I got 10 more minutes until my break. And I'm like, well, you can take a break early, because I'm getting the fuck out of here. Because I was so disappointed, because one, I'm going in thinking I'm auditioning for an actual movie. I go in and I'm like, oh, it's a casting agency? And then it says it's an unagency, and then I'm reading all these reviews that it's like scamish, and I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just like, I know if you have talent and somebody wants to work with you, that they're just going to invest their time into you. Maybe you have to pay something, but $600 in a day is a lot. Of course I'm gonna invest in like what I want to do, but awkward, because since I didn't want to pay that day, interview over. I'm calling it a scam because I felt scammed. Like, you tell me one thing that I'm applying to audition for Spider-Man, and then it's a whole different other thing. And then I come to find out that they're talking about the old Spider-Man. Like, their ads for old movies are still like up. Like, old movies, like 2015, like old movies are still up. So watch out for that too. Love you. Bye. That walk, baby. Oh yeah. Talk that talk, baby. Better walk that walk, baby. If you talk, I say, I don't know if it's overall a scam. They might have some successes with people who are already rich and want to get into this. But for me, I felt scammed because I don't know what I'm doing. And it looked, sounded, and smelled like I was applying to get an audition for a movie. But it was an audition for casting an agency.